Right now at 6, a fire breaks out at a duplex on Joplin's east side. We'll have the latest. Plus, we're heading to a poker chip run hosted by the VFW Post in Carthage. Also, the Pittsburgh Farmers Market hosts a 4th of July salsa contest. And
airlines cancel hundreds of flights this 4th of July holiday weekend. I'm Wendy Gillette. I'll bring you the picture from around the country.
Seriously. You're watching the KOAM News at 6, and it starts right now. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. Breaking overnight, a fire breaks out at a duplex on Joplin's east side. Officials say just before midnight, a passerby saw flames at a duplex in the Joplin Housing Authority complex at 409 South Ozark. When fire officials arrived, they found heavy smoke and flames showing. No one was at home at one of the duplexes. However, emergency responders rescued a wheelchair-bound resident from the other duplex. Fire marshal has been called in to investigate the cause of the fire. However, officials say it appears the fire started in the shared attic space above and spread between the two units. Monette police are investigating an unattended death. Officials say Thursday evening they were called to the 100 block of West Nelly in reference to two deceased subjects. When officers arrived, they found 71-year-old Daniel Olson and his spouse, 64-year-old Tamara Olson, dead inside the home. The incident is under investigation by the police department. Officials say there is no sign that there is any danger to the community. Temperatures are a little bit better today than they were yesterday, but how long is that trend going to stick around? Nick Kelly's here.
Well, we had to deal with rain and some thunderstorms this morning, Chris, and quite a bit of cloud cover. That's what really helped us out with temperatures today. Right now, we're still seeing partly sunny skies up top from 7th and Range Line. A lot of it's dry right now, but if we pan the map over to the west, we can see a couple isolated storms, one west of Emporia and a bigger one just east of Wichita in southern parts of Butler County, just outside of the viewing area. We also see additional storms getting going across northern parts of Oklahoma. That's simply because we got a frontal boundary parks right on top of the region. That same front that gave us rain chances this morning is going to try and do it again as we go through the later part of this evening and into the overnight hours. Right now, if you have the clouds and the rain, you're in the 80s, but everybody else is right around 90, if not lower 90s on the board. Feels like everywhere, though, for the most part. Mid-90s on the average, but looking at their evening planner, we're going to have those thunderstorm chances start picking back up by about 8 o'clock, continuing through the overnight. And eventually, Chris, that should drop us back near 73 for overnight lows. And unfortunately, the thermometer is going to trend upward for the week ahead, including the 4th. We'll break down the numbers here in a bit.
Right, Nick, thank you. The Combat Vets Motorcycle Association is hosting their annual poker run. The goal is to raise money for local veterans and VFWs. The poker run will consist of 5 stops from Goodman, Knoll, Seneca, Joplin, and then ending in Carterville.
These individuals knowing that we're doing this to help veterans out, whether it is someone needing a warm meal or help with putting shingles on the roof or helping people move, we've done that.
For more information, you can check out this story on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Parsons Historical Society has added another piece to tell the story of the city. Today, they held a ribbon cutting celebrating the grand opening of the Farm Heritage Museum. The museum has farm equipment dating back to as far as the 1800s, and over 100 people were in attendance.
Well, anytime you see a turnout like this, you can tell that the people loved what you've done. And I mean, if nobody would have showed up, you knew that we screwed up. But as it is, the turnout here, I would say there's probably well over 100 people here.
The Farm Heritage Museum is now part of the third museum of the Parsons Historical Society. Pittsburgh Farmers Market is starting off this 4th of July weekend by bringing a salsa contest and some live music. Beginning at 8 a.m., that started the salsa contest, and from 10 until noon, they had live music. Vendors' items range from jewelry to produce and, of course, some meat.
Incredible. As you can tell, all of our vendors sold out almost, which is great because they even brought extra today. And it was just good for everyone. Everyone enjoyed the salsa contest and the live music.
Pittsburgh Farmers Market's located at 119 East 11th Street. Holiday travel is booming this 4th of July holiday weekend, but that demand is bringing some problems too. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has more from New York.
Frustrated 4th of July flyers are already dealing with hundreds of cancellations this weekend. Lee Harris's flight to Ohio on Delta was scrapped Thursday night as he was boarding at Newark Airport.
I spent $656 on a ticket, and now I'm still trying to find a way to get home right now. And I can't even get home. I've been here since yesterday, since 3:05.
He's not alone in his misery.
I had a flight issue, and now I'm trying to rebook, but the price is ridiculously super high.
The average lowest cost for airfare is up 14% from last year, at just over $200 per ticket.
The pandemic prices were great, where it was like $2 a flight. Right now, the flights are skyrocketing, and it's getting out of hand, quite frankly.
Demand is back to pre-pandemic levels. The Transportation Security Administration screened almost 2.5 million passengers Thursday, 17% more than the Friday before the 4th in 2019. Staff shortages have led airlines to cancel thousands of flights this summer. Add in weather problems. These are the airports where air traffic was temporarily halted yesterday because of thunderstorms and gusty winds, and you have a recipe for disaster.
I'm still stuck in LAX, and it's almost 6 hours later.
Problems in the air have pushed an estimated 42 million Americans to take road trips this 4th of July weekend, according to AAA, despite average gas prices of just under $5 a gallon.
Everybody's paying outrageous amounts of money for gas, and good thing I have a little car.
AAA projects nearly 50 million people will travel 50 miles or more from home, an increase of 3.7% over last year. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
Now, Delta waived its change fees this weekend in anticipation of heavy delays and cancellations. We take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Donald Bai served in the Air Force during Vietnam, his hometown, Pittsburgh. We're proud to recognize Donald Bai, tonight's four-state hero. Up next, one state has now authorized edibles and drinks with limited amounts of THC. Well, the new antenna weighing 12.5 tons is now at the top of our tower. For now, though, we're still broadcasting from a temporary antenna that's a little bit lower on the tower and a little bit lower power as we prepare to transition to that new, more powerful transmitter. So we do know that our signals become a little glitchy for some of you, and we also are aware that, unfortunately, some of you have lost our signal. But when this project is finished, we're going to be broadcasting with even more power than we've ever had before, making everybody's signal even better. You can check out the progress anytime on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Edibles and drinks with limited amounts of THC are now available for sale in Minnesota. New state law to make it legal went into effect on Friday. THC is the ingredient in marijuana that creates a high. Minnesota's new law regulates packaging and sale of the products. It also governs their makeup, with each serving holding no more than 5 milligrams of THC, a limit of 50 milligrams per package. There are also requirements for child-proof packaging. Minnesota State Senate Republicans blocked a bill this year that would have legalized marijuana. Use of this industrial hemp has taken off over the past decade. Minnesota farmers have planted the 5th most acres of hemp in the U.S. Well, how often do you enjoy an alcoholic drink? If you classify yourself as a moderate drinker, there's a better than 50-50 chance you'll engage in binge drinking. A new study finds moderate drinkers, defined as having a drink a day over a week's time, account for more than 70% of binge drinking cases. That may show many people are drinking a week's worth of alcohol in the one sitting, or 5 drinks or more. The American Journal of Preventive Medicine Studies co-author says a focus on average consumption by itself hides underlying drinking patterns. More than 1,200 drinkers ages 30 and older were studied, first in 2004 to 2005, and again from 2015 to 2016. Moderate and heavy drinkers were separated. Over the time frame, researchers found moderate drinkers made up nearly 80% of those with alcohol problems. Those in the group binge drinking had a 5 times better chance of developing alcohol-related health issues. Now, the takeaway, problems are tied more to how much a person drinks rather than how often. Researchers say public health efforts need to focus on moderate drinkers. Most Americans need to work on their heart health, and COVID-19 cases are increasing around the globe. Elise Preston has some of the week's top health stories.
The World Health Organization reports new COVID-19 cases increased by 18% in the last week. The UN Health Agency says deaths remained about the same as the week before, but deaths increased in 3 regions, including the Americas. The rise in cases is due to the Omicron variants BA4 and BA5. The FDA is recommending protection against those Omicron variants be included in COVID-19 vaccine boosters. Earlier this week, an FDA advisory committee met to discuss changing the current vaccine booster doses for the coming fall and winter. And most people need to do more to improve their cardiovascular health. The American Heart Association says only 1 in 5 U.S. adults has optimal heart health. The other 80% would benefit from a better diet, more exercise, or more sleep, ideally between 7 and 9 hours a night. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
A little later, there's something special about Chick-fil-A, and the nation has noticed.
It's nice to get some scattered rain and storms this morning, but additional rain chances on the way. We'll see if we can scrub out the heat for the week ahead when we come back. And as advertised, we had a pretty quiet day overall, but not before we had some rain and thunderstorms going across parts of the area this morning. In fact, I want to readjust the Skywatch Storm Tracker on this view here over to make it loop over the past 18 hours, because we had storms in our very far northern areas to start the overnight out. Then we had that complex of rain and storms that developed out in north central Kansas, clipped mainly our northern counties this morning, and that did give some of you, if you really needed the rain, at least some accumulating rainfall. Area-wide average though just under ½ an inch, 0.4 of an inch to be exact. But of course, you can see where the heaviest rains fell, mainly north of US 54. However, we're not quite done with our rain chances just yet. A lot of us are dry right now on the radar network, but you can see a couple of storms. Didn't mean to do that. Let me clear that off. We do have a cluster of storms in southern parts of Butler County trying to work into Greenwood County, and we have some additional storms that have been trying to get going around Ponca City in north central Oklahoma, all because of our front that stalled out on top of us this morning. It's still around, so it is going to try its darndest to get temperatures to not only hold steady throughout the next few hours, but also get some thunderstorms going. Right now, though, partly sunny skies in Joplin. We're sitting at 88 with the north breeze at 9. But the humidity's back up there again, 71 degrees, making it feel like 94. We have 80s in our northern counties where you have more of the way of cloud cover and rain, certainly this morning. Everybody else between 90 and 93 degrees, but the humidity makes it feel like we're all either near 90 or almost pushing into the upper 90s in some spots. Then, as we go through the rest of the evening, increasing rain chances and clouds means a slow drop in temperatures, but I do think we can drop back into the lower 70s for tonight. Again, all because of our frontal boundary parked right on top of the region. But the plan for this, unfortunately, is going to lift back north once we get past tomorrow. And upstairs, the upper levels want to consolidate into one solid ridge going into next week. That is going to lead to a hot stretch as we go throughout much of this week. So on the short term this evening, we'll watch on those isolated storms out to the west, but partly to mostly cloudy skies through the overnight. And as long as that front's still around, we'll watch for some scattered storms overnight. Nothing too strong, nothing really severe expected, but some heavy downpours possible, maybe a few minor wind gusts, and maybe some small hail with the strongest of the storms. Then I wouldn't be surprised if we had some more, let's say, widely scattered storms as we go into tomorrow. 73 in the morning, 88 by noon, highs near 93 with that easterly breeze in the morning turning more south during the day at 5 to 10. Then I think we're looking dry for the 4th. While that certainly may look nice, that is going to allow temperatures to warm up pretty fast as we go into the upper 90s on the 4th of July, mainly because not only does that front lift back north, but this upper ridge really starts to build in, and it takes hold through the middle of the coming week, Thursday of next week. Going into Friday, though, and wants to shift back to the south and west, that could allow for an upper level wave and another storm system to bring us some rain chances by Friday and Saturday. But we'll go from 93 tomorrow, 97 and dry for the 4th at least, but pushing 100 on Tuesday, lower triple digits Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Chris. And fingers crossed, if we hold on to those clouds and rain chances by Saturday, maybe highs back near 90.
It would be nice. I mean, I know it's July, but goodness, that is really pushing it. You know, low 90s maybe, but lower 100s, no thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the humidity. That can make it feel like 110 in some spots.
Don't mention the humidity.
All right, I
Just
won't.
Don't mention the humidity. It's
I
only
won't
making
mention
it worse. Thank you so much. Turning to sports, Jacob Leonard here now, and it's a busy day of baseball across the region.
Yeah, St. Louis Cardinals definitely get the bats going early today against the Phillies. We'll talk about that. Plus, McDonald County aims to finish pool play undefeated in the Heart of America Firecracker Showcase. We'll have those highlights after the break. Well, today is the final day of pool play at the Heart of America Firecracker Showcase in Southwest Missouri. In the 18 and under division, the McDonald County Mustangs are 3-0 in their first 3 games. And the Mustangs on the field this afternoon against Carl Junction, aiming to go 4-0 heading into bracket play. Starting off bottom of the first, Tucker Walters on second. Pitch is a strike, but Walters showing off the speed, swipes third. And right after that, runners on the corners, Isaac Bim on first, takes off and steals second. So that puts a couple runners in scoring position for Weston Gordon. Gordon delivers, drops this one into the grass. Plus turf, but you know what I mean. Walters trots in. The game is tied at 1. McDonald County would go on to roll from there. Final score 7-3. The St. Louis Cardinals face the Philadelphia Phillies for Game 2 of their 4-game series this afternoon. Now, the Cards dropped Game 1 last night 5-3, so they're trying to even the series today. Now, the Cards hit back-to-back homers in the first inning, 4 in a row this afternoon. Right now, though, the Phillies have tied it at 6 in the bottom of the 7th. We'll have highlights from this game right here tonight at 10. In the American League, the Royals on the field against the Tigers tonight, trying to secure the series victory after winning Game 1 last night. The bullpen blew this one, giving up 2 home runs in the 9th inning. Detroit goes on to win it 4-3. Well, USC and UCLA made a surprise move this week, leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten. And reporter Eric Graves is in Indianapolis, the middle of Big Ten country, for fan reaction and what it means for the Midwest.
Doesn't seem right, man. It's like Pac-12, isn't it?
I mean, I was definitely surprised. It kind of came out of nowhere.
2 Southern California schools, USC and UCLA, set to join the most Midwest conference out there. Fans we talked to weren't so sure.
So, I like keeping everything Big Ten, Midwest.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why they would jump out.
Jack Wright is a Pac-12 fan, Arizona State to be exact. He's visiting Indy for a volleyball tournament.
Losing teams like that, you can't replace a USC, a UCLA.
Visit Indy is excited about the potential of new fans.
New fans in the city is really just an opportunity for repeat visitors, for them to fall in love in Indianapolis and come back again and again and again.
USC and UCLA aren't set to join the Big Ten till 2024, but fans are already thinking about the long trek between opponents.
If they're catching the flight, they should be good. If they got to ride their bus, that's a long trip.
Just how far is it? Let's say Purdue or IU is going to go from here in Indiana all the way over to California to play UCLA or USC in a football game. There's about 2,100 miles between the two. Now for the team playing, that's about a 4-hour direct flight. And if you want a road trip there to watch the game, how does 30 hours in a car sound? But how about UCLA or USC coming here to Indy? The first chance could be the 2024 Big Ten Championship game at Lucas Oil.
It would be a weird thing like a USC, Ohio State, or IU, hopefully Big Ten championship football, so we'll see what happens.
At the very least, it's safe to say Hoosiers would welcome their new California rivals with open arms.
Come down here, you get to walk around, see the circle, just check out what we got here in Indianapolis.
And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
One restaurant continues its winning streak as America's most popular chain, Chick-fil-A, has been named America's most popular restaurant for the 8th year in a row. A customer satisfaction survey says Chick-fil-A remained the most popular with a score of 83, the highest score in the industry, despite Americans preferring full-service restaurants to fast food. Full-service restaurants maintained its 80 score from last year. Fast food happiness fell off by 2.6% over the last year. I don't know. Okay, so the wife and the kids, they thoroughly love Chick-fil-A. I've got nothing against them. It's just I'm not a big chicken fan in general, so.
I like chicken.
Yeah, man, chicken's good, but I can't say that I can tell like a huge difference between all of the different chicken places.
You know, I guarantee you the main thing's got to be how they handle their drive-through service.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, that's something that I think really puts them over the top.
I think so. I mean, that says a lot. And the way they handle those drive-through lanes, I mean, it's like directing traffic.
Yeah, especially the one on the range line, like north of the interstate, not the new one they put up, but that thing gets crowded, but they just go through there no problem.
Yeah. Other restaurants need to take note of how Chick-fil-A does their drive-thrus. We also, especially since they have people out there, they want to take note of the forecast over the next few days.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, temperatures won't be terrible for this evening. We'll eventually fall back to the 80s and 70s, but we'll go back to 93 tomorrow. Some storms in the morning and additional scattered storms possible in the afternoon. But then we're dry by the 4th and through the middle of next week. But that's when the thermometer really ticks up. Upper 90s Monday and Tuesday, lower triple digits by Wednesday.
That's a nasty looking forecast, Nick. Thank you. That's all we want to hear from you at this point. Jacob, final check-in.
We told you that the Cardinals hit 4 home runs in a row in the first inning. They're just the 11th team in Major League Baseball history to do that.
And I mean, it's an impressive game still going on right now.
Hot start, yeah, but they've blown it. 6-6 in the 7th.
Hopefully they can come out on top at the end. Guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll be back here at 9 and 10, and thanks for making us part of your night.
Salon service is provided